Hey, hey, hey. Good evening. It is 6:58 and this is the second week I'm on time, a little bit early, in a row. Wait a minute. Last week, I think I was like 5 minutes behind, but it's okay. It's okay. So it is 6:58 and I've been sitting here for a sec because I've been ready today. Been home all day, went in this morning for a few minutes, about a couple hours, got some things done, and came back to try to handle some other business on the home front. So, hey, hope you guys had a great week. So, as usual, let me be fair. Let me wait, because y'all used to me being kind of late, right? So, let me wait a minute. Let me just holler at y'all, do some shout outs before we get started, okay? So as usual, I am going to get started like right at 7. I'll get started right at 7 because, as you all know, I always post the videos after. It will be posted, it will be pinned at the top of the page. And it's going to stay at the top of the page for the entire week until the next Friday to give everybody an opportunity to be able to watch it, go over it, and whatever you want to do. So I see one person popped up, so when you come on, type something in, shout out something so I know who's here, because I can see people, but I don't necessarily, I see the numbers, but I don't necessarily know who's here. Boom, boom, boom. I hope you guys had a great week. Okay. All right. Make sure I keep this turned down. So, all right. So, I'm going to get started. Hey, guys. Hope you guys had a great week once again. So, welcome to Camper Conversations. So, as y'all can see, of course, I am not in the camper. I'm in my living room. So, welcome to my home. Not in the camper, of course, because it's cold, it's wintertime, it's dark, it gets dark early, and there's no power going to the camper, of course. I'm not connected to any shore power. So, we're going to stick with our concept, Camper Conversations, because we will be back in the camper, when the weather lifts, but that doesn't change and stop the party. We can still do this every Friday. So, welcome. Again, I'm going to post this at the top of the page. So if you come in late, if you come in last minute, or you don't get it at all tonight, it will be pinned so you guys can see it and watch it and comment. So feel free to comment. So let me start out by saying what I always say. I am not a relationship expert. I don't claim to be. I don't proclaim to be. Never said I was. I'm a black woman in this world, living this life and doing the damn thing and enjoying it. I am enjoying myself. So the concept for Camper Conversation came up one day. I thought about it. I was in the camp and I was like, yo, this page, based on what it's for and what it is, we can take the time to really kind of uplift each other. Nothing particularly to do with my camper, but I was in it at the time and I thought that would be a great idea. So, for those of you who may be here for the first time or watch for the first time, Camper Conversations is just something, it's a safe place somewhere we come and we discuss different topics that have been posted during the week or even previously. Depends on how good they are. But what I really, really love, thank y'all so much for everybody who inbox me and send me little funny memes or comments or discussions or things they want to talk about. So this is the caveat for this group. If you are single, if you are dating, if you are courting, if you are married, this is the place for you. So we come here and we talk about topics that all of us as adults at some point have dealt with or will deal with. And of course, everything we do and say is for the betterment of our relationships. Whether we're single, dating, courting, or married. Everything that we say is for the betterment of our relationships. Because like I always say, there is nothing new under the sun. We've been hearing that all our lives. There is nothing new under the sun. What I have dealt with at some point in life, you have dealt with, or you may deal with in some form or fashion, maybe in a different way. It may be just like it, it may be different. But I truly believe in open communication. I believe in sharing, and I believe in being my brother's keeper. So that's why we're here, okay? So listen, y'all, I've been going about an hour each time we get on because it's been that good. We end up getting on here and I'm going an hour because people are responding. They're, making comments, and I want to make sure I read everybody's comments that come in. I want to make sure I read them. I don't want to leave anyone out. So another shout out I have to give to my brothers. Brothers. Usually in this type of environment, you see a lot of ladies. It's majority of women. And true enough, the majority of members in this group, there are over 1,000 some members, believe it or not. There are about 738 active members. I was kind of shocked. I'm sorry. 738 that kind of are reached on a regular, because y'all know I post a lot on here. And there are about 200. I always look at the little gauge of things. I check it out. There are about 200 people that interact or look fully at videos or whatever. There's a portion on here where I can click and it'll give an insight for things, and it'll give an update for the group. Like when the group membership went up, when it went down, never goes down. Just all kind of activities and things on the page. So last week I made a post. I want to say last week alone, from Friday to Saturday night, there were at least 15 requests to join the group, to join the page. And I love it. Because that means somebody's sharing with somebody is seeing it somewhere, and they're curious, and they want to come. So this is my shout out. The brothers, thank you for engaging, posting, commenting, inboxing me, sending me things to post up. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because so many times in relationships, women tend to be the more vocal ones. Women tend to be the one that show more emotion and talk about more things. And the men kind of sit back and like, yeah, okay, quiet as kept. And I get that. I understand we're made up in two different ways. But communication is communication. Just do it. That's all I say. Communicate healthy, respectfully, the best you can. Because the lack of communications is what causes breakups, fallouts, misunderstandings. So thank you for the inboxes, brothers, for sending stuff to say, ooh, post this. Because I get quite a bit of that, whether it's male or female, to be honest. Because some of y'all not brave enough to come on out on the page. It is cool. It's cool. Because y'all know me. I'm pretty transparent and open. So if you send it to me, as long as it's not degrading to the opposite sex, or whatever, I'll post it. So please understand, everything you see on the Real Life Relationship Growth page is not my brainchild. It's not something that I pinned or whatever. It's coming possibly from somebody else. And there are things that do come from me. I do have a thought process and a way of doing things. So some of it comes from me, but quite a bit of it comes from you all. I have to go through every day and be like, ooh, which one am I going to post today? And we've been doing the 10-year challenge has been going on. So I've been having a ball with the women and the breasts going from here to here, and the men, the testicles going from here to here. Yo, it's just laughs, kicks, and it's fun. But I love that we can get to serious topics, and we can come on here and we can discuss our differences and our thoughts, and our opinions on here. I love that we can do that. Yeah, I typed something on here because I can't always see it on the feed, okay? All right, so we're going to get started. It's 7 after. Again, this will be pinned to the top. You can play it and go back and rewind and stop as much as you like. I am going to try to stay at about 30 minutes tonight, y'all, okay? Because, again, we tend to go for an hour. I tend to go for an hour, but I don't want to belabor the saints. So I'm going to try to stick to about 30 minutes. If y'all come in and y'all have discussions and posts and things y'all want to say, we can stretch a little bit longer, but that will be dependent all on y'all. All right? So this is our topic tonight. I always post what the topic is going to be early in the day, and I tag people just to kind of get it flowing and get it going. All right? So this is the topic tonight. It says, many times we romanticize what we want from our significant other. Qualities they don't possess. They may not possess. Do we sabotage our relationships looking for what we want but don't really need? Many times we romanticize. We romanticize movies and just honestly, maybe how we saw our dad treat our mom, or our mom treat our dad, or we have a friend and we really kind of love their relationship and we see how they do with one another, or again the area of Hollywood and the Hollywood romances and the love stories and the challenges and how they deal with it and do. Sometimes we romanticize things and it's actually not for us or who we are. We kind of look at things that other people are doing and we take it on like, oh, I like that, or I want that. If your girl, her man is always bringing her flowers and sending her things or whatever, that may be his love language. That may be her love language, and he has realized and learned that is hers. But is that necessarily yours? So do we tend to sabotage our relationships looking for something we may want but not necessarily need? So I had a few people comment earlier on when I put this out. So I want to read what they said. I know that Crystal is catching a flight, so she won't be able to be on, but she commented earlier, so I'm going to read her comment. Okay, I'm going to read her comment. Well, let's see. Finley commented first earlier. He said, we romanticize what we want from our significant other, but what qualities do we bring to the table as well? That's a good one, Finley. What qualities do we bring to the table as well? He said another topic for another time. Let's see. I want to read Crystal's. Let me find Crystal's. Okay, so Crystal responded to Finley. She said, I do believe we shouldn't demand or expect more from someone than we're willing to give. I try to weigh how I'd feel about doing, saying, wanting XYZ. If I was doing or expecting something, doesn't always work, but a good place to start. That was Crystal's comment. All right, and I think there was one more. Okay, so Ashley made a comment. Ashley Rudolph said, that would be a good convo. Love languages is the number one things to learn. And you're right, Ashley. We're going to dip into that a little bit with this. And I think I said it at the beginning. Love languages. Love languages. Wheezy Fats. And I'm going to call him out. My brother-in-law, Mike. He said, of course we do. But I call it motivation. Step your game up, chick. All right. Tawia said, isn't it okay to look for both what you want and what you need? Isn't it okay to look for both what you want and what you need? All right. That is what, and I think that was the last comments. Yeah, those were a few comments that were put on in response when I put up what the camper conversation would be about tonight. So, let me do this. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. All right. Because again, y'all, I don't know why this doesn't flow. But unless I'm looking on my laptop or on my other computer, I tend to miss comments. So I want to make sure I leave it open here. So we can see those. All right. Okay. So, okay, I'm seeing on here, see, this is what I mean. I'm seeing on my phone, but I'm not seeing on the computer. Chris, Randy, and Quest. What's up, fellas? What's up, fellas? I'm going to get this thing right sooner or later, y'all. I'm working from one source to the other, but I'm going to go back to the topic. Okay, so let me say, as women, we tend to, some of us, some women, not all, but some women tend to have expectations. Let me say that different. Let me say that in a different manner. We all have expectations. We all have expectations of what we want and what we desire. When we're thinking about the person that we want to date, the person we want to marry, we have expectations of things we want, we like, and we desire, right? And sometimes in the process of dating, you meet somebody, and of course, there are traits and things about that person that attract you, get your attention, hold your attention. So you couple those things, your expectations, things you want and you desire, to the things that you're getting and you're receiving and you're seeing in that person. And the expectations you have is, okay, well, this person has this type personality, this person has that type personality, I kind of like that. This is what I want from them. This is what I would like to receive from them. So we have these expectations. Nothing wrong with having expectations. But when we get into a place where we romanticize certain qualities and certain things that we want, and we don't get it and we don't see it, do we sabotage our relationship by having those expectations, wanting those things, and realizing our significant others do not possess those qualities? If they don't possess those qualities, if they don't have the experience in doing certain things and being a certain way, and they don't possess those qualities, do we sabotage our relationship by breaking away or even consider breaking up with that person and not dealing with that person because they don't have certain qualities? So, more importantly, I ended this statement with, do we sabotage our relationship looking for what we want but don't really need? And Tawia made a point. She said, isn't it okay to have what, also what we want and what we need? And sure, it definitely is. It definitely is. But when we're talking about our significant other, when we're talking about the person that we're either considering spending the rest of our life with or spending the rest of our life with, do we have expectations of them that they can't meet? And are those expectations necessary and conducive to growth of our relationship? So, let's give an example. Y'all know me, transparent. I don't mind because somebody, same thought process, same thing, same doing. I don't believe in this thing. I do believe in this thing of privacy in your business. I do. I do believe in that. There are some areas and things that are private, that are your business, that you don't put out there to other people, and you don't put that out to the public. Your relationship, the things that go on between you all two, should be private and kept personal. But sometimes there are things that happen and go on that, again, can be helpful to someone else. So, in my last relationship, because of my love language, the things I desire, the things I like, there were certain expectations I had of this man that, total honestly, you all, he was not fulfilling. He was not doing those things that I needed and I wanted. And truth be told, our experiences is what fashions and make us up, right? So when we go through those relationships when we're young and early, and our first love, and they do certain things, and it kind of sets us up and fashions us for what we like and what we expect and what we want to do moving forward. So that also speaks for who we are in our love languages and what we desire for ourselves. So in saying that, I had certain expectations. Truth be told, I was used to receiving flowers. I was used to receiving gifts. I was used to romantic gestures that let me know that I was special, that let me know I was being thought of, that let me know that I was the one that he was gearing all his time and attention to. And I love that. I appreciated that. Hence, one of my top love languages is spending time. One of my top is receiving gifts. I do love to receive gifts. I do love to receive little tokens of, hey, everybody knows I love the Little Mermaid. And I mentioned last week about if you see that Little Mermaid mug or whatever, or whatever, and you think of me and you get it, then that puts a big smile on my face. That does something. But in my last relationship, that was not his way. He didn't do those things. He didn't, buy those gifts. It's something that he had to learn to see that that's how I was and that's what I wanted. Love languages. Good idea, Ashley. Love languages. And he just was not meeting the mark. Those things weren't happening. I was not seeing those things and receiving those things. So, of course, we had several conversations, and it's a process of getting to know someone, a process of understanding them. And it's not just about getting to know someone, y'all. It's about you desiring yourself to please that person and make them happy. You can get to know people all day. You can get to know who they are, their favorite color, what they like to eat, where they like to go, what they like to do. But unless it's here for you, and you want to make that person feel special, and you want that person to know that they're special, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So when I had the expectation of certain things being done, and I had the expectation of wanting certain things, it had to come down to, is that worth ending the relationship because he's not meeting the mark? And he wasn't meeting the mark, you all, because that's not what he was used to. That's just not what he was used to doing. Everybody has different personalities. And in my marriage to my children's father, and my marriage to him, that's the type of man that he was. And that's the type of thing that I liked. And it was natural. So he did it, and it wasn't a problem. But in the next relationship, the last relationship, it wasn't his thing. That's not what he did. Now, just to tell y'all, the marriage did not end because of that. But it's a good point to hone in on, because it did cause some difficulties and some problems. But do we end our relationship because of that? Do we look at the things, hey Dominic, my nephew, do we look at those things and say, okay, that's a deal breaker for me, it's not going to work for me? Or do we look at it and say, hey, there are so many other qualities about this person that I really like, that I really enjoy, that I love, and I can get past those certain things. We have to understand and know ourselves. I never ever say or tell someone or suggest to someone to give up the things you like, you desire, and you enjoy just to be with someone. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what this is saying. What I am saying is, and y'all tell me if y'all agree with me or not, what I am saying is, think about the things that you want and think about the things that you need. Because sometimes, y'all, there are things that we want in life that are not productive for us. Again, we see what someone else has. We see how someone else's relationship is. We listen to TV and movies, and we have this thought process that I want mine to be just like that. But like Finley said, the first comment that was made, Finley was like, but what qualities do you bring to the table as well? What qualities do you bring to the table? Because I mentioned a second ago about it being here, and even though you get to know somebody, you get to know someone and they like a certain thing, unless it's here, unless you say, I desire to make this person happy, I desire to make this person smile, it's not going to mean anything. So the qualities that you bring to the table, meaning if he necessarily or she does not match up to what I want and is not giving me what I need, am I setting up an environment? Am I setting up a place for them that they know that they can open up to me, and they can be comfortable with me, and they can be loving with me, and they can expose themselves and give me those things that I desire, as well as the things, as well as the things that they desire. Yeah, I don't want to miss anybody. As well as the things that they do desire. So, are we sabotaging? Like, do you really know what those things are? Because again, sometimes we want things and they're not good for us. I mean, just consider our diet sometimes. We want things, we want sweets, we want this, we want fatty foods, we want whatever. But is it something that's healthy for us? Is it something that's good for us? Sometimes there are traits that another person has that help to balance you. And sometimes you don't even realize you need that balance, or you don't even realize that balance is necessary until it happens. So you can meet somebody that's total opposite. You know how they say opposites attract? I used to not believe that. I used to think that he needs to be more like me. He needs to think more like me and act more like me. And if we acting the same, if we like that, we gonna gel. It's gonna work. I do not believe that anymore. I do believe that we need to have the same interests. The same goals, the same goals. We need to have a lot of the same moral values. Because y'all understand, being equally yoked don't just necessarily pertain to religion. Y'all know that, right? Being equally yoked means I am someone who may be a saver. I want to save money because I have goals and I have things that I want to do for my family, and I want us to grow that way. If I'm with a spouse that wants to spend, or somebody that wants to spend all the time, has no interest in saving, has no interest in our future, that is not being equally yoked. So being equally yoked is just not about your religious beliefs, your thoughts of what day we going to church, and how we raising our children. Very important to be equally yoked. Hey, Tanil. How we raising our children, where do we want to live? All of those things come into play. We don't necessarily have to have the same interest all the time. I want my man to go out without me. I want him to go out and hang with his friends. I need him to be able to miss me, and I need to go. Like my girls and I, we were taking a girls trip every year. My girls from high school, we were taking a trip together every year. And I'm not going to lie, y'all, that got stunted. And it got stunted because of the person I was with. Because financially, it just wasn't there to be able to do. So, more focus had to come on other sides. And the time wanted to be spent. It just wasn't there. And to be honest, I missed it, and I said I would never do that again. I would never allow the things that I need to grow as well, because we still need to be individuals, although we're in a relationship. I will never let that happen again, where those things won't happen. Because, again, if it's not productive to your relationship, then you need to let it go. But if it's productive, so we need to miss each other. I don't need to see you every day. We don't need to be in each other's face every day. Now, if you're married, still same thing. Doesn't mean you're not home every night. Doesn't mean you're not with your spouse and y'all don't take trips. But if you want to take a boys trip, if you want to take a trip with the fellas, go take a trip with the fellas. And same thing, vice versa. So we have to understand each other. We have to come to a place where what I need and what I want is clearly understood. It's clearly understood. Our sexual desires, everybody's not on the same level. Everybody is not on the same level. So you have to talk and communicate and understand what your desires are. Because y'all know me. Yo, I'm going to say it. The adventure of finding out is the fun part. Like, she may not have experienced something you've experienced, but you never know. Because she just don't know. Or vice versa. So take the time in everything you do in your relationship and communicate with one another. Communicate with one another. Again, y'all, I am not a professional. I have been through some relationships, some great, one great. I ain't gonna lie. I'm always gonna say it. My first marriage was the greatest relationship that I have ever had. Shouldn't have never, ever, ever let it go. But that was then, this is now. Everything I do, I try to take it and I use it to grow. Who put that heart up? Tanil, was that you? Everything I do, I take it and I use it. And I say this to y'all all the time. Either it's going to benefit my growth, and I'm going to say, man, what can I do with this? What did that teach me? What did I learn? Or I'm going to take it and I'm going to throw it away. And I'm going to be like, that wasn't for me. That was still a growth experience, because I learned that was not for me. That was not for me. And in the process of doing that, I can help that other person. My phone don't want to come up. Learn who I am. Because we have all, I think, a lot of us have sabotaged our relationships at some point or another. It was either immaturity. It was either a lack of understanding. It was a lack of being willing to do certain things. It was pride and ego. Like, I know I'm hitting somewhat. Pick one of those. If not all of them for yourself, just pick one. We have all sabotaged our relationships in some kind of way, because there's no perfect person. I have never seen or heard a relationship that is going great and is one person. It's one-sided. I have never seen or heard a relationship that ended, that was awful, that went bad, and it was one-sided. It was one person. Hey, Ash, never, ever, ever have I seen or heard it. Never, ever, ever have you seen or heard it. That's because it takes two. It's going to take two. Now, one may be more productive in the relationship than the other. It could be a lack of something. It could be what you saw your parents do. It could be the example that you had of other relationships that keep you on this mindset. Growth is necessary. How your daddy and your mom did it is not necessarily how you and your significant other should do it. Had to learn that. I am my mama's child. I ain't gonna lie. I am my mama's child. But I had to learn that. Like, the way McBride handled Sylvia and Sylvia handled McBride is not the way Donna should have handled Daryl, or Daryl should have handled Donna, or, whatever. We have to learn and we have to grow. So always sabotaging our relationships by having romanticizing thoughts and ideas that our significant other can't even comprehend. And if so, are you talking to your significant other about those things, about what you want? That is what you do during the dating process. When you get to the point of courting, when you ready to pop the question, brothers, and y'all ready to get married or you married, if you don't understand and know how this sister is when she is on her period, that's a problem. Does she need your attention? Does she need you to leave her alone? Does she need a heating pad? Does she grind through the cramps? I mean, all of that stuff is necessary. If you're not having these conversations, if you're not understanding these things about one another, if ladies, you don't understand, because I don't care what y'all say, men have periods too. That might not be physically visible like it is for us, but men go through their moods and they go through their things. And I always say, when a man is down, when he's not himself, when he's not being productive and he's not being what you want, there's a few things that are being messed with. A friend of mine told me that either his money and his way of producing has been affected. Usually when a man is not at his best, because men's nature is to provide and protect, and women's nature is to receive those things. So if a brother's money is not right, more than likely he ain't gonna be too, if the job is not going well, if he doesn't feel like he can produce for his family or just you, if it's just the two of y'all, and he can't do that, you're going to get not the best of him. So we need to understand these things about each other. We can't just throw in the towel before we get to the point of saying, you know what, I understand, I get it. And it's not always easy. It's not always easy. Y'all, divorce is not easy. And let's be real, a lot of us here have gone through divorces. It's not easy. And we have to take the time to sit and think, did I do all I could? Now, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm always going to say, if it's been an abusive situation, mental, physical, emotional abuse, then you don't hold on to that. You don't stick around for that. You don't sit around for that. Help is there. Help is necessary. Y'all know I'm the poster child, if I could be, for counseling. Get it, get it, get it. If you don't get it for anybody but just yourself, counseling. And sometimes men tend to shy away. I don't need no counseling. I'm good. I don't want nobody telling me. Ladies, get counseling for yourself. And then the things that you learn, put it in action and pray that the brother sees that. And it may take him into, hey Christina, take him into a place where he realizes, you know what? It's not a bad thing. My lady doing it because she want to better our relationship. She better herself. Because brothers, don't let the lady get in counseling and realize, because that's not the point. That's not what we're trying to do. But better yourselves for yourself, and then you can be better for each other. And then you can be better for each other. I see a few of y'all on here. I want y'all to comment. If y'all have some comments and some thoughts, please say something. Go ahead and comment. Again, you could always comment later if you came in late. You want to watch the video later, you can comment. So let me read our topic, because I always do that halfway through or when I'm coming to a close or whatever. Our topic tonight was, many times we romanticize what we want from our significant other. Qualities they don't possess. Do we sabotage our relationship looking for what we want but don't really need? Looking for what we want and don't really need. Know what you want. Understand what you want. And understand why you want it. Like, do you want it because your girl got it? Do you want it because this is what your boy's wife does or his girl does? Or do you want it because that's going to make you happy? That's going to make you feel good about yourself and your relationship and the person that you're with. All right? So I said I was going to keep it at 30 minutes. We at 38 minutes. I think I did pretty good. So if y'all have some thoughts, again, it will be up. Y'all are welcome to post your thoughts after you have time to watch. You can post your thoughts. Usually when I come back, y'all, to the videos, where is it here? Usually when I come back and I hit the insight button and I look at the views, because I like to look at the views because I want to know that our topics are being helpful, that our topics are a topic of interest. And I have yet to repeat a topic. I have been asked to do part 2 of certain topics, and I have to go back to those and do a part 2. But y'all kick out so much good stuff. It's hard to go back to something when there's something else we can hit on as well. But you know, I like to try to do that. Just try to keep hitting on topics that y'all suggest and y'all want. But feel free to go back and watch the video. Feel free to comment. I do get that too. Like, I get the alert that maybe in the middle of the week someone has had a chance to sit down and watch it and they make their comments. But I want to hear what y'all think. I want to hear y'all input and y'all suggestions, and to help somebody else out. How do we not sabotage our relationships by romanticizing things, romanticizing thoughts, having expectations that aren't realistic, having expectations of someone, and that's just not who they are? I don't want to be with a man that changes who he is for me. I'm going to repeat that. I don't want to be with a man who changes who he is for me. Hey, Chine. I want to be with a man who, when he comes to me, he is organically, originally himself. And in the process of me getting to know him, I fall for that. I love that. I like that. Who he is who I enjoy. I don't want him watching me and knowing me and doing things just because he knows that will get me and get my attention. I want him to get my attention just off of being him. Because if he gets my attention just off of being him, he will continue to get my attention and my affections and eventually my love, because that's what I'm falling for. That's what I'm falling for. So don't be a part of sabotaging, because that's self-sabotaging. When you're not honest and you're not coming real and being yourself, you eventually have to take the mask off. You eventually have to be honest with who you are, because you're going to get agitated. You're going to end up not wanting to be there because you can't hold up the facade too long. So be with someone. Be someone you are. Be naturally who you are. So I can fall for who you are naturally and organically and enjoy you in that way. All right, y'all. So I'm wrapping up. 7:41. Doing pretty good. We're not hitting the hour. But listen, comment, like the video, whatever you like to do. Hey, Robert. I'm shutting it down. So y'all welcome to watch the video. But y'all keep the comments coming. Keep the memes coming. Keep inboxing me. I so appreciate it. I love reading y'all stuff. I love getting the videos and we laughing and whatever. And I love posting here because it's just about growth. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes. Yes. I am. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy your MLK Day. Those of y'all in Atlanta, we supposed to be getting some bad weather. So Sunday may be a day that you snuggle up. That may be a day with you or your boo. Y'all snuggle up. Or if you don't have no boo, it's all right. Find a good movie to watch. But stay in, stay safe. And y'all, this COVID thing is just what it is. Stay safe, period. Wear your mask. Do what you got to do. And let's keep each other healthy. All right. Love on somebody. Be sweet. Later.